postpartum update. It's been about a month and a half since I've had Jackson, so a month and a half postpartum, obviously. And I'm not sure I'm going to do any more postpartum updates. This is probably going to be the only one just because I'm feeling good. There's nothing major going on and I don't really see any reason to do another one unless I'm doing maybe like a weight loss update or something like that. We'll see, or maybe I'll just update you guys on my weight loss in some other videos. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I did want to go over the past month and a half of postpartum with you guys, how it went with me and all the things that happened. So to start off with, I'm just going to say with Jane, I'm pretty sure looking back that I might have had slight postpartum depression. And I didn't really think about it until after she was like a year old. Like while I was going through it, I didn't think that I was depressed. I don't really know how to explain how I felt after Jane. I was happy that she was here. I loved her very much. But just the whole challenge of having a new baby for the first time. I'd never obviously had a baby before. Sorry if you guys hear Jackson in the background. He's trying to go to sleep. Hey, buddy. But anyways, I think a lot of it had to do with the breastfeeding problems that I did have with Jane. I just automatically assumed I was going to breastfeed with her. I didn't think it was going to be hard, and it was. She wasn't gaining weight, and just the whole thing of no sleeping, and obviously being a first-time mom. I just remember the first like 4 months maybe just being really stressful, and I was anxious all the time. I had really bad anxiety, and I was so focused on putting her on a schedule, I feel like, and just being like really strict about certain things and really cautious and nervous, and you know, just being a first-time mom basically is what it was. And so this time when I was pregnant, I thought to myself, you know what, I maybe had a little slight postpartum depression, nothing that I needed medication for, or you know, I wasn't super down or sad all the time. But this time I was going to try my best to let things go, if not be so worried about things, not be so anxious. I know a lot of times it's hard and you can't really help a lot of that, especially if it is postpartum depression, you can't help that. But a lot of things that I held on to myself, like schedules, and didn't want her to cry ever. Babies cry, that's what happens. They're babies. They don't know how to communicate any other way, so they're gonna cry. So just being a little bit more relaxed this time. And I think it's worked. I haven't felt sad or down or anything, hardly at all. But I will say that I have had some ups and downs this past month. Some days I feel like super mom. I get both kids out of the house. I go to the grocery store. I do everything. Jackson hardly cried all day. I fed him. He was happy. He slept great. I got a great night's sleep. And then other days, even if all that stuff happened, I would just feel so stressed out. And there have been a few lows, and when the lows happen, it's just maybe like an afternoon where I just feel super stressed out and annoyed at everything, and then the next day I'm fine. So nothing where it's like a week long of being sad or anything. So that's been going on, and obviously that will happen with your hormones. After you have a baby, your hormones are trying to level out. Your hormones are just out of whack, so that is reasonable to assume would happen. So I have had that a little bit. Also, I feel like, especially in the first maybe 1 or 2 weeks, it is a little bit hard because you're bleeding a lot, you're having to wear these really huge pads and really huge underwear, and you don't have anything cute to wear. Your maternity clothes are too big, but your regular clothes are too small. Your boobs are getting bigger, you're leaking everywhere, you don't have bras that fit. Your weight gain is weird. You've lost a little bit of weight, but you're still not at your pre-pregnancy weight. Things like that. You're sweating, you're hot, you're cold. That happens. And so with all of that mixed in with a new baby, trying to figure out your new baby, all babies are different, so their personalities, what they like, what they don't like, all in that first 2 weeks is a lot. So it's understandable if you're having some down days, and I did. So those are the things that happened mainly in the first 2 weeks. I've kind of been doing a lot better in the past 1 or 2 weeks now. So that is good. Also, the cramps that I had after I had Jackson were really, really bad this time. I remember with Jane, I had a few cramps. Obviously, when you breastfeed, your uterus is contracting back down to the size that it was before. And even if you don't breastfeed, it's still going to contract down, but it does it more while you're breastfeeding. And I heard that the more babies you have, each time the cramps get worse. And I don't remember them hurting too bad with Jane. I remember them being there, but they weren't really bad. And this time they were really bad. And I don't know too if it was because Jane was not doing very good with breastfeeding and Jackson did. So maybe that had to do with it too. But I had to take some really high dosages of ibuprofen, and also I can't remember something else that they prescribed to me that I used, but that helped. And those cramps only lasted maybe 4 days, but it was every single time he ate, which was every like 2 to 3 hours, and they hurt bad. So that was not really fun. I didn't have to get any stitches this time around. I did with Jane, so the recovery has been like 10 times better. I remember with the stitches, you couldn't really wipe and you couldn't wash with soap, and all that was for a long time, I think even until they fell out. Sorry, I'm trying to give Jackson his passy. And so this time was a lot different, and I feel like I healed down there a lot faster than I did with Jane, obviously because I didn't have stitches. So that was good. I talked about this before in another separate video, but the night sweats were awful this time. I remember them being really bad with Jane too. I still, to this day, I'm almost 6 weeks in, get sweaty at night. It's not as bad as it was before, where I felt like I had just jumped in a pool and came out of the pool. But even like last night when I woke up, I was just hot and sweaty, and it's just not fun, especially when you go to bed clean and you wake up and like the underneath of your hair is all wet and your hair was straight and you'd done your hair already, and it was just bad, and it's still pretty bad, and I'm just waiting for it to be done. As far as sleeping goes, I try to take a nap during the day. Jane still takes a nap between 1 and 4, or at least I put her in her room at 1. Sometimes she doesn't go to bed till like 1:30 or 2, and then she sleeps till 4. And then Jackson usually goes to sleep around 1 as well and sleeps till 4. So I'm really lucky right now that they both sleep around the same time. I know Jackson's nap is probably going to shorten up here in a little bit as he gets older, but I'll still have a little bit of time where Jane's taking a nap as well as him, that I'm going to try to get some chores done during that time. But right now I'm still really tired, especially since I'm still waking up in the night with Jackson. So I'm just trying to continue to get some sleep, especially because once I put Jane down for the night, she usually goes to bed between 8 and 9. I try to have a little bit of time with Chris by ourselves. Obviously Jackson is awake at that time, but he kind of just sits there, and have some time to watch a show with him or talk with him and spend some time with him instead of falling asleep right away, and us not having any time together. So getting that nap in, even if it's only like 30 to 45 minutes, by the time I get stuff done, I can at least get a little bit of a nap in. And soon, once Jackson starts to sleep through the night, I'll be able to hopefully get a lot more sleep in the night, and then cut that nap out and get some stuff done while they're sleeping that I can't necessarily get done while they're awake. And then at nighttime, I am only getting up once with Jackson, and I pump, and then I feed him, and then I change his diaper, and then he goes right back to sleep. And all of that takes about 45 minutes a night, and it's usually between like 2:30 and 3 o'clock that we're doing that. And I'm actually having to wake him up at that time. I don't know how long he would sleep if I let him sleep, but I'm already up pumping, and so I know that he can't go like a whole 12 hours without eating. So I wake him up, because I know as soon as I would fall asleep after pumping, then he would wake up and I would have to feed him and do all that. So I'd rather just get it done while I was already awake. And some of you were probably like, well, he's not hungry. Why would you feed him? Why would you force feed him? As soon as I get him up out of the little bassinet thing and unswaddled, he is starving. He's, you know, making all the signs that he's hungry, trying to eat his hands, fussing, crying. So I know that he's hungry. He would just sleep through it if he could. And which is another reason why I know if I let him sleep, he would probably wake up only like 30 minutes later to eat anyways. So even though I am waking up at night, it's only 45 minutes that I'm really awake, but by the time I can go back to sleep and everything, it's a little longer. So that's why it's good to get that little nap in during the day as well. As far as weight loss, I think I gained 35 pounds total with Jackson this time. And right now I am 6 or 7 pounds from my pre-pregnancy weight. I lost all the weight pretty quickly this time, and I remember last time the last 10 pounds were the hardest to lose, and that is proving to be right again, because I've been between like 10 and 6 for about 2 weeks now. So the first 2 weeks I pretty much lost 25 pounds and had that 10-pound weight gain still there. So right now I'm at 6, which is good, and my 6-week appointment is coming up with my doctor, and then after that hopefully I can start working out a little bit, little by little. I've never been a really big person to work out, but I can also maybe start to be on a diet. And also, as you guys know, you don't want to diet too much when you're breastfeeding because you don't want your milk to dry up either. So there's a medium here where I'm trying to eat as much as I can so that my body can make the milk that it needs. And also, I haven't worked out in forever, so I don't want to pressure myself into working out like every single day, hardcore or anything like that. So I don't really have a schedule or anything specific that I'm going to do yet as far as weight loss, but I do want to lose those 6 pounds. And also, before I even got pregnant, I still wanted to lose 5 pounds. So that's a total of 11 pounds that I do want to lose eventually. So I'm going to take it slowly, but I'm happy with the weight loss that I've had so far. And speaking of weight loss, this time around with the breastfeeding, since it's gone a lot better than it had with Jane, I noticed that I am still starving and having cravings, and basically my cravings are all sugary sweet stuff. Usually I'm good in the morning. I eat just a regular breakfast, and lunch I eat a regular lunch, but then in between lunch and dinner I cannot stop eating and snacking. It's like all of a sudden I want something salty, and then after I had something salty I want something sweet, and then I want something salty again, and then I want something sweet again, and then it's dinner time, and then I want dessert. And so I'm trying to make healthier choices, but that doesn't always happen, especially when I want the sweet stuff. So I think that's just because my body is burning a lot more calories with breastfeeding. Hopefully I can make that not happen as much here in a few weeks with the weight loss that I'm trying to do. But I think that's it for my postpartum. I'm feeling good. I'm happy. Everything is going good. Like I said, I'm probably not going to do another postpartum update just because there isn't anything crazy happening. The only thing is I do want to lose a little bit more weight. So maybe, like I said, I'll update you guys on that in a separate video. Or if I decide to do maybe like an exercise update or something like that, then I'll update you guys there. But otherwise, I'm doing great and I'm feeling great, and I'm just so happy that Jackson's here. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching the video, you guys. I'm going to show you my postpartum belly, 1 month postpartum. There's nothing really to see, but I just wanted to show it to you guys, and just remember that I still have 6 to 7 pounds left to lose. Okay, this is a month and a half. Still got a little pudge here, but pretty much all gone. See, with my shirt up, my belly button's gone back in. Nothing too much to see. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!